Whenever I wake up in the morning, I always have a cup of coffee, and then I begin my Bible study. I usually spend a couple hours in prayer, on my knees. That's where the faith gets built. That's where you meet God. My grandmother would lay in bed at night, and I would hear her talking, and I remember thinking to myself, who is she talking to? And so as time went on, I realized she was praying. It's when the previous generations, my great-grandmother and my grandmother and my mother, that spent time on their knees in prayer, that encourages me to go to my prayer closet and bring my children, my grandchildren before the throne. It's quite a blessing, and because the sowing into my own life as a child, it really helps to sow into your life as a parent. My youngest, his name is Andrew. He is an explosive device person in the Army. He goes before the troops and he finds the mines. This particular time, he was on top of the Hummer as the gunman. The explosive device was detonated from the hillside. My son was thrown from the top of the Hummer and he had loss of consciousness. They were right on top of the IED. When he called me, when my son called me, and he said, "Oh, Mom," he said, "you know, I didn't want you to know about that." And I said, "No, knowing about that builds faith." I said, "You know," I said, "you're living and you're alive from an explosion that was so great because Jesus did that for you. Jesus did that through a prayer." So because I had already believed that he is protected, when the time came that actually needed that prayer answered, it was answered. God delivered. He made sure that my prayer as a mother that blanketed my son was taken care of.
What biblical love is all about. What sacrifice.
I remember hearing Michael Youssef's, his word was good. And what he was saying it with heart and with soul and with authority. He's part of every morning's devotion. I listen to him every single day. I have gone through so many teachings with him in my every morning devotion. I mean, Monday through Friday, I am listening to Leading the Way without exception. Those women that just stayed on their knees and believed for their families, it's a mighty duty. And we need to honor her by being the best person we can be and the best person in Christ, and let that mother know that you love her and that she's important.